Cover two. Welcome everybody to the Cover 2 Fantasy Football Podcast. That is right, I am here again for another day. And today we're going to go over the running backs of 2022. People, I want you to really look at the top 5 that is going to be interesting for your fantasy draft. So let's not wait or hesitate. Let's get started with the top 5. So let's look at the top 5. Top 5 starting with Najee Harris. Yes, Najee, who finished number 4 last season. I think it's going to be another impressive year, especially because I don't see a lot of confidence in this offense other than this man. And I do think that Najee's going to have another solid season, both, of course, the dual threat of catching and running the ball. That, of course, division is very slow sometimes. Obviously, maybe Cincinnati might change that, but I do still think that Najee Harris is somebody that you really should keep an eye on at number 5 this year. At number 4, we've got Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara having a down year last season with a lot of quarterback, unknowing of who was going to be starting each and every week. Jameis is there, Andy Dalton's there. Not great quarterbacks, but I do think that this offense is going to really rely on Alvin Kamara going into 2022, and I do see him having an uptick in a normal season from the last year. At number 3, a man that needs no introduction, usually number 1 pick every single season, of Christian McCaffrey. Injuries have plagued this man for the last 2 seasons, and I do think that we are going to see a different Christian McCaffrey. He could have played at the end of last year. He did play a couple of games, but I do think they were saving him for a breakout season. This offense is going to be retooled with, Sam Darnold and Matt Corral are there. Who's going to start? Probably Sam Darnold. A great wide receiving core that's getting better each year because they are very young. I do think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a solid season, just like you would think by drafting him in the top 1 or 5 spots. Next, we have the man ourselves, Mr. Henry. Derek was going to be the number 1 back. Obviously, a broken foot put that stop to that. I don't see that happening with Robert Woods there and the rookie and Burks. I feel like they're going to really rely on the running game. He was the one that propelled them to a top seed. I don't see them not giving the ball, and I do think each and every year you see him progressing in the passing game. So he could be your number 1 back, but I would not go between these two. But obviously the number 1 back last year, number 1 back this year is still going to be Jonathan Thomas to me. JTT is a solid running back on a team that is going to have a couple of question marks. They have Matt Ryan there now, Michael Pittman Jr., Paris Campbell, Alec Pierre, some decent options throwing the ball, but you cannot and you should not sleep on Jonathan Taylor this season. A solid running back that can do both the throwing, or I should say the catching and the running. So I see him having another solid year, but between him and Derrick Henry, you're looking at 1-2, so I would not believe that you should fret over a decision like that. So these guys you should really be taking advantage of in your fantasy draft. Obviously, running back is a very light position and always has been in fantasy football. You kind of need to draft them earlier than you draft any of your wide receivers or quarterbacks because they are just so many less impact players in the running back community than there is at any other position, especially this upcoming season with a lot of people throwing the ball a lot more. But I do think that if you concentrate on these top 5, you'll at least get 1 running back 1 as you go into 2022. But I do appreciate all of your support. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, or if you want to, like on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Spotify. But until next time, I'll see you soon. Cover 2. Cover 2.